show is not suitable for children, sensitive men, or insecure women. Can you trust somebody that doesn't take care of their kids?
I don't trust no man on earth that does not take care of their children.
What's the biggest red flag in a relationship?
Low effort and not being honest.
Most of the time, you would think that a bad financial mistake would be spending money on clothes or vacation or like spending money on women. My worst financial mistake was buying a home.
Like a king, give me my crown.
Game time. Game time. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Mic check 1 2.
Yes, sir. We back at it.
We're back live.
at it. Yes, sir. How you feeling?
I'm great. How you feeling? I see you in revolutionary mode. I love it.
Salute to the real, man. Salute to the real. I feel good. Shout out to Khalees, and she got a company called Feed the People. Gives back to the communities, and on my support Black business and Black brands kick. She made this shirt. Well, her company made this shirt.
That's
Ibrahim
fire.
Torre, Feed the People. So I'm a big fan of Ibrahim Torre. So shout out to that brother.
As I say, protect him at all costs.
That's a fact.
At all costs, protect him.
That's a fact. So shout out to Khalees. Shout out to Feed the People. And if you do want this shirt, then you can go to their Instagram. Their Instagram is Feed the PPL. So short for people. Go to Feed the PPL. Link in bio, feedtheppl.com. And they got different people, like they have Thomas St. Cora. I think they got Patrice Lumumba. Like they got different historical figures.
That's amazing.
From Africa. So yeah, being that we just came back from the continent, we're in a revolutionary in our time, in a real-time revolutionary. So.
Protect that brother at all costs, man. Just even the international geopolitical game they're playing there. Oh my God.
That's a fact.
Prayers and blessings to him. Seriously.
That's a fact. Do remember, InvestFest is 1 week away. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Get your VIP night tickets. Get your general admission tickets. Get any tickets that you can get. Man, it's Thursday. Next Thursday.
Yep.
Is you can get you can pick up your lanyards. You can pick up your credentials. You'll need that for the weekend. Wristband. And then starting at 10 o'clock on Friday, InvestFest starts. All day programming. BlackRock, Fidelity, Miss Business.
Cannot miss BlackRock, yo, or Miss Business. Yep.
My dad's doing a
shout out to your dad.
That's a fact. So those are all workshops. Presentations.
Even on Market Mondays, he gave you a roadmap for how long this AI boom is going to go. Like you can't. We really have 9 more years of this revolution. So
that's a fact. So make sure you that. We'll be doing, myself and Troy will be doing a book signing in the vendor marketplace. The vendor marketplace will be open on all day Friday, support the vendors. We're having programming inside the vendor marketplace. And then VIP night is Friday night. And then we have all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Thursday, we have the kickoff 85 South comedy show. That's a separate ticket. You can go to their website or go to investfest.com, but that's an 85 South collaboration on Thursday. Man, it's a lot going on, man. So I'm looking forward to it. We're 1 week away. Preparation is in mode. I gotta get the outfit. I gotta drip report.
With the satin, we're doing it humbly this year, Rashad.
That's a fact. Respectfully.
Yep.
You got your outfits
en route.
Okay.
Go to Taylor tomorrow for the suit. The other little. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do suit or be in athletic mode, because I got a different energy this year. Down to my last 50 pages for the presentation, so I haven't decided yet. But yeah, I'm rounding out for next week. I'm excited.
Get your tickets. Go to investfest.com. Looking forward to it. It's going to be so. Reza Islam is going to be there. He got a panel on Saturday.
You got a panel?
Him and Trey the Truth.
What? I'm gonna have to make that one H-Town. Shout to Reza Islam.
I think it's called Do for Self. Like you can monetize even if you're a revolutionary, something like that. Like
he's fought through a lot of adversity, and just from a speaking standpoint, like 19 up here, but him. Ooh,
oh yeah. Nah, he's one of them
they
ones.
are a different tier of orator.
He's one of them ones. So
for sure,
man.
And I'm looking forward to seeing Charlemagne. Joseph, love you. I'm looking forward to seeing Charlemagne the God. The service out in Jersey not as good, but when you on a call in, Charlemagne, Issa Rae, Steve Harvey, that's a hell of a lineup and collaboration.
Shout out to Joe Button, JVP. We both were on the latest episode. Never a dull moment at the Joe Button podcast.
But these are the things that we prayed and wished for.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So you got to even embrace even those moments. Shout out to Joe and Corey, to Ishmael,
the whole squad.
Oh, congrats to Ian Schwartzman. He's had his baby. So congrats to him and his wife.
Congratulations. That's big.
Yeah.
That's major.
Yeah.
All right. So go to investfest.com, get your tickets. We'll see you next week. Ian, any announcements?
Mid-roll. Yes, get your tickets to InvestFest. I will be presenting after Magic Johnson, Red Panda family. Let's show up and show out. I love y'all. Telegram, I'll let you know about what we're going to do for on the show. If I've made you money, please put yes in chat. And thank you for everyone who tuned in last week about our health episode, which I love so much.
That's a fact. People I think they really appreciated it.
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot to talk about.
For sure.
We got to talk about Donald Trump taking over D.C. and threatening to take over New York and Chicago.
Chicago will be next.
We want to wait to have that conversation?
Nope. Let's wake it up. We'll go right to it.
Go now?
Yep.
Okay. So if you were not aware, the District of Columbia high crime rate. DC's always had a high crime rate, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess recently it's been getting a little out of control. So Donald Trump deployed. He took control over the DC police department. The federal government has taken control over the police department. He has FBI agents in the street now. Mm-hmm. Deployed the National Guard to in his words, reinstore law and order. And I know a council member from DC too. Shout out to
you know a lot of people.
I do. Maybe we can get him on the show to talk about it, or even the mayor. But now he actually is threatening to take over New York and Chicago. Let's play this clip if we can.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna have the same thing here. But then I'm gonna look at New York in a little while. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's see. It's gonna go pretty quickly. And if we need to, we're gonna do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. He's an incompetent man. And we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out of the business, and he ran for governor. And now I understand he wants to be president. But I noticed he lost a little weight, so maybe he has a chance. You never know what happens. But Pritzker's a gross incompetent guy, thrown out of the family business. But when I look at Chicago and I look at L.A., if we didn't go to L.A. 3 months ago, L.A. would be burning like the part that didn't burn. If he would have allowed the water to come down, which I told him about in my first term, I said, you're going to have problems. Let it come down. We actually sent in our military to have the water come down into L.A. They still didn't want it to come down after the fires. But that was it. We have it coming down. But hopefully L.A. is watching. That mayor also. The city's burning. And we're going to have the same thing here. But then I'm going to look at New York in a little while. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's see. It's going to go pretty quickly. And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. He's an incompetent man. And we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out of the business, and he ran for governor. And now I understand he wants to be president. but I noticed he lost a little weight, so maybe he has a chance. You know, you never know what happens. But Pritzker's a gross incompetent guy, thrown out of the family business. But when I look at Chicago and I look at L.A., if we didn't go to L.A. 3 months ago, L.A. would be burning like the part that didn't burn. If he would have allowed the water to come down, which I told him about in my first term, I said, you're going to have problems. Let it come down. We actually sent in our military to have the water come down into L.A. They still didn't want it to come down after the fires. But that was it. We have it coming down. But hopefully L.A. is watching. That mayor also. The city's burning. And we're going to have the same thing here. But then I'm going to look at New York in a little while. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's see. It's going to go pretty quickly. And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in.
Okay, so that clip, he's talking about taking over New York City, Chicago. He referenced Baltimore, Oakland. The interesting thing with Baltimore is that their crime is actually down.
Yeah, their crime is down. I think that mayor's done a tremendous job and not getting enough credit for it.
He had strong words for the mayor of Chicago, said that he's a low IQ person. Have you ever heard him call anybody that's not black low IQ?
That's a great question. Let me ask ChatGPT-5 real quick.
It's not going to answer you either, by the way. That's the thing. I asked ChatGPT.
There's a lot of sanitation going on.
It says, sorry, I can't help you with that. I said, why? And it was like a political, I can't get involved in politics, and make
Sam, that's smart before you go public. That's a lesson. Politics and religion. Stay clear away. It's not worth it. Even Grok is having some sanitation, and we'll talk about Sam and Elon fighting later, but no, I can't think. I know he's had some words for Jeb Bush and Hillary, but I don't know if he called them low.
I mean, the low IQ people that I know he's named was Kamala Harris, Jasmine Crockett, the mayor of Chicago.
Well, he said Biden wasn't fit to run the country, which was.
But the low IQ, he said he has a specific language for low IQ. Charlemagne the God.
It's definitely a dog whistle. Definitely a dog whistle. But what do you think of him declaring light martial law on DC, and how many other cities do you think will follow suit?
I think it's dangerous. You can try to assist the cities that need help, right? There are help that's needed. But when you just come in, he's even threatened that if the new mayor, which looks like the Mondani is going to become the new mayor of New York, he said that if he becomes the mayor of New York, the federal government is going to take over the city. He's running around like Joseph Stalin. Like he's really looking at himself like a dictator. Like, I'm taking over. I'm going to take over a city, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And it's dangerous precedent that he's setting. He's extremely ignorant as far as how he's communicating things. Like, imagine if Barack Obama spoke the way he spoke.
Some days I wish he did.
Calling anybody that he didn't like a low IQ person, an idiot.
Well, yeah, that's a bit much. But
stupid. He has no level of diplomacy at all.
But don't you wish that, okay, do you prefer this level of leadership versus the Democratic shadow government that isn't proactive? Like, I wish.
Give me an example. You said a Democratic shadow government that wasn't proactive. Like what? Like, what do you mean?
That's above the shadow government part above my favorite.
The shadow play.
No, time out. These are just jokes. This is AI. Sponsored by Perplexity. But I mean, I don't agree with how he's taken over policing. I do think there needs to be some things installed, but this reminds me a lot of the stop and frisk era from Giuliani, just at a national scale. That part is definitely frightening, for sure. And it's going to bleed to Baltimore, going to bleed to Chicago, maybe even LA.
What's the common denominator with every city that you just named?
They're major metropolitan cities in the United States of America.
And what else?
Good pizza.
Good pizza. They all have a black mayor. DC has a black mayor. Chicago has a black mayor. Baltimore has a black mayor.
Democratic run. Yep.
LA has a black mayor.
Yeah. No coincidence.
Coincidence?
See, great minds think alike.
New York City has a black mayor for the time being.
Yeah.
And then he's about to get replaced, probably, most likely, with a Indian Muslim mayor. So
yeah,
that's even more problematic for Trump. So is that a coincidence? The way that he vehemently speaks about these cities and their leadership?
Of course not. But given the hypothetically, and we'll go to technology and feudalism being tied in later. But if you have Palantir and others that have backed that kind of technology, wouldn't you want to start to use this initiative as a way to test out the AI in the cities to be able to surveil? As soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is going to be the general test for the citizens to see how the AI is deployed. It's going to start with boots on the ground, and then you're going to get deeper surveillance.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
they already have that. Really, I mean, I feel like man, it's already under surveillance. Technology, and Nipsey said that before. He's like, technology really changed the landscape of criminal activity in LA. He was like, like you can't just do a drive-by shooting like it's 1984 right now. Like there's cameras on the corners, like they're gonna see your life
everywhere.
They're gonna be police at your house before you get home.
And especially with everybody recording, telling it's a different environment. So
GPS, they got GPS on your phone, GPS on your car, so you can't say you wasn't in a location. Well, your devices say otherwise.
And Sam Altman told you, if you try to get away with a crime with ChatGPT-5, they're turning the files over. There is no privacy there as well either. So yeah, but are we surprised? No, we shouldn't be.
Does he has to be stopped on a certain level, don't you think?
Who?
Trump.
Who's gonna stop him? Most of the I'm politically agnostic. The Democratic regime doesn't have the chutzpah to stand up to them and the Republican tech bros that are in office. They just kicked Elon out, and Elon won him the fucking election. Tim Cook brought him a gold bar to say, I'm sorry, let my stock rise. That's not a fight that most people are prepared to have. Should he be stopped? Sure, but it's interesting. We're living in very interesting times.
We're living in a hell of a time.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in a hell of a time.
But politics and religion, steer clear.
Please.
Especially a week away. Oh, no.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, what do you think of Bill Gates backing this company to make butter out of carbon? Going time back into our episode from last week of food products being made. I mean, he has some mosquitoes in Africa already. I think Bill Gates' evil villain arc just keeps getting more interesting. He's turned into Mr. Burns in front of our eyes.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with, but without the farmland, fertilizers, or emissions tied to that typical process. And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia.
In the middle of an industrial park in a suburb west of Chicago, something unprecedented is happening.
So you're using this gas right now to cook your food. And we're proposing that we would like to first make your food with that gas.
The company is called Savor, and you better believe it. Their pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen to make the stick of butter you see on this plate.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that looks and tastes and feels exactly like dairy butter, but with no agriculture whatsoever.
And no long ingredient list the average person can't pronounce.
It's really just our fat, some water, a little bit of lecithin as an emulsifier, and some natural flavor and color.
How?
The question is, what is Bill? All right, Bill Gates, a computer genius, right? Who makes billions and becomes one of the richest people of all time off of a technology company. What is his fascination with vaccines, food, population? why is he so fascinated with these things?
I think if you look at his iteration from the first company he had into the development of what he may have creatively licensed and turned into Microsoft, I think he's finding a way. His goal for Microsoft was to have a desktop on every home and office in the country. He achieved that. I think after that, there's only a couple places you can go. You can either go into government or you can go into health. And I think part of his plan is to have a product in or around every citizen on Earth.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, after I controlled all of enterprise for 10 years, and then there's nothing else that he can do in tech. I think the next evolution is to let me be a ruler of the world. There's a bunch of ways you can be a ruler. You can be through force, the way Putin had to do, or Stalin had to do, or you can start to infect through other different types of coding. Also, one of the largest farm and land owners in the United States of America and worldwide as well. So I think when he looks at like in business, you'll look at a total addressable market. And then once you are in the 1% of the 1%, I think the idea is, how can I control the majority of the world one way or another? Nefarious at best, I'll say that. But a genius, but I think it's starting to lead towards more evil genius than doing good.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, shout out to the good folks at Microsoft.
Yes, for sure. Love y'all dearly.
That's a fact. Love you dearly. Okay. So let's do this. There was a clip on the internet about a woman that left her job at Walmart, and she did it in pretty interesting fashion. Let's play this clip.
Fuck the managers, fuck this company, fuck this position, and fuck that big lazy bitch Chris Price. I fucking quit.
A Louisiana Walmart employee by the name of Beth McGrath decided to quit, and she did it over the loudspeaker.
Attention Walmart shoppers and associates. My name is Beth from Electronics. I've been working at Walmart for almost 5 years, and I can say that everyone here is overworked and underpaid. And customers poorly every day. Whenever we have a problem with it, we're told that we're replaceable. I'm tired of the constant gaslighting. This company treats their elderly associates like shit. To Jared, our store manager, you're a pervert.
Okay. Best practices. Is this a model that should be followed for people that are looking to separate themselves from their current employer?
No, but you can understand the frustration. If people are not being paid fairly, there's a lot of issues in the workplace that women are facing and discriminated against. The work environment isn't the best. The costs are rising. Inflation is higher than ever. Rent is higher than ever. No, I think most corporations got away long ago from treating the people who work in their companies fairly or like a human. And I think we're just seeing an uprising of more people being frustrated. And the interesting part with AI, and even when I was talking to Isha last night, I'm like, the gap between the haves and the have-nots are getting even wider. I want to be very clear. The aim for artificial intelligence, which I said from the beginning, is to find a way to take away half of the workforce out of the economy altogether and let automation and robots run it. People can feel it. Like post 2020, you guys put it in chat. Do you feel like most employers care for you more or less? They don't even treat the workforce like human capital. It's like you're expendable almost at this point. So that's why I think the tensions arise. And then when you go to other places, you in Africa, in Mexico, Bahamas, there's a different feeling because most work environments are not always the healthiest, but I think there's a deeper disappreciation for those who work in corporations here and compared to other countries. But what do you think? Then best is next week. Blame me.
You know, okay, for her, don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen, first of all. But for her, I would be interested to see what type of opportunities that she gets from this. She's going to make more money off of this than she made at Walmart.
For sure.
Right. So, man, it just speaks to the age of social media and the ability to just go viral for pretty much anything and what that potentially leads to. Called the dude a pervert. That might be something that she has to answer for.
Maybe he's been a pervert though.
If I'm just saying that's that's one of these things, right? But she did it in grand fashion. I'll tell you that much. If you're going to do it, that's how you do it.
You have to have. I want to be very clear though. You need to have an exit plan if you're going to tell your employer fuck off. A very strong exit plan.
I mean, working at Walmart. No disrespect, but I'm just saying it's not like you leaving NVIDIA's corporate suite.
Also, too, when she goes for an interview at Target, I'm sure somebody's going to send the hiring manager that video.
No. She has to go. No, she's out of it. She's out of this retail world. She has to go to level of political activism. She has to head a workers union. She has to. No. She's going to move on.
There has to be a transition for sure.
10 ranks. If done correctly. If done correctly, she has to move up 10 ranks off this.
Also, too, stop trying to go viral. Because when Meta does that, shout out to Meta, love you dearly. Shout out to Zuckerberg, Alvin, everyone who's there. Martin, love you dearly. When you get your payout at the end of the month, sometimes it may only be like $600, and then the virality stops. A lot of people try to go viral, and the payouts are not what they project them to be. There's a lot of crash outs on the internet.
And the thing about it too is that going viral now don't even mean anything anymore
at all.
Spoke to Dave Shans about this. Like before, you had 10,000 followers. You went crazy viral. A video got 10 million views. You can go from 10,000 followers to like 500,000 followers in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Now you have 10,000 followers. Your video does 10 million views. You might gain 5,000 followers. Like it's not. It doesn't.
You're gonna spend money on the ad platform to
it
get. It
doesn't really move the needle the same way that it used to move the needle. So going viral is overrated.
For sure.
Long story
and
short,
it's not really an asset.
If you're doing dumb shit to go viral, not to say that was dumb, but I'm just saying if you are doing dumb shit to go viral, it's not the best way to go about it. It's really not. Yeah. It's not even monetizable a lot of times.
Yeah, it's very true. So be careful. But I get her rage, I get her frustration. But for those of you who are planning a coup at work and who want to start a revolution and tell your boss the same thing, please be careful. Bills come around real fast on 1st and 15th.
What's up with this T app for women? What's the name of it?
TeaOnHer.
TeaOnHer. So the T app came out first. Now they got the TeaOnHer app. What's up with that?
Revenge of the nerds. Some men were mad that they were getting exposed on the T app. And someone created a TeaOnHer app to get revenge on women. I think all that shit is lame. But to then try, but I'll say this too, women, y'all better get the app shut down fast. Because there's gonna be some little hurt boyfriend from high school or college you get to tell him all the tea because he miss you and the little dry snitching. I think all of it's goofy. Also, too, for a company that you don't know, why would you upload your passport or driver's license to a company that you don't know so you can have another data breach? You got to upload your driver's license? Yeah, on both apps. So they had that big expose. It was like 600,000 IDs got exposed. The T app was originally meant for to let women know about abusive men. That's what it was designed for originally. Yes. So the TeaOnHer app, what is that? What's it designed for? Messy men. Let's call a spade, y'all. We limited on time. for messy men who want revenge. And the truth is, some of y'all gonna get the dirty macking on that app, and most men not even gonna care. They're not even gonna care. Because the thing about it is this. I mean,
Okay, let's have this conversation. You gotta do your due diligence internally.
What do you mean internally?
Like,
just within your own subconscious?
Before the lovebirds get moved to the suburbs, I need to double check your story. Any girl that you are planning to have a future with, you gotta do some level of investigative journalism on this.
But not this way, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. You should already be doing it. If you gotta go to the T app to do this, then you're fucked.
Oh, you're fried already.
When I'm saying investigative journalism, I'm like, make the calls to the people that's in the city that know, you know what I mean? Connect the dots.
Rashad, what?
Yo, you got it. No, I'm bugging. I'm bugging out.
It's funny to hear, but you right. Yo, what's the scoop? Because if you have good friends around you, they're going to tell you anyway.
Let me know what I'm getting myself into.
Yep.
Right. I just want to know. And then it's like, okay, we got mutual friends. It depends on how serious it is. If it's just a casual vibe, then
it's casual vibe, it don't matter.
It don't really matter, right?
Yeah.
But if you are, okay, this is my girlfriend, this is my fiance, this is my wife.
Yeah, well, before you get to the girlfriend stage, you got to make sure.
Oh,
and ladies too, you got to make sure that he wasn't a scammer or the creep or a pedophile or do some level. And also too, the tell is always, if you bring someone around and most women don't have anything positive to say something about her, that's a big ass red flag. Everybody don't got to love her.
But women, well, they hate sometimes too, though. You know that.
True, but sample size matters. So if I bring maybe around 20 and nobody has nothing to say,
this is a good one too. What do you do if you're dating somebody and your friends are hating on that person? Meaning, let's give an example. If a girl is dating a guy and then her friends is just like, damn, like, I could have thought you might have been able to do better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, subconsciously, that does have an effect on how you view that person.
Yeah. Even and I always said, in every criticism, there's some truth. I want to get to the reason of why you may feel that way. Now, I may have to just think on my own and go meditate and see why, but it's not always hate if it's a criticism.
Sometimes it's hate. But I also feel like that happens more with women than men. Correct me if I'm wrong. In chat, I'm not trying to be sexist, but I just feel like my friends, right? I never really seen somebody. Now, a person might say something behind somebody's back, right? Or they might say something when they're not in the room. But I never really saw in my whole entire life. Very rarely, if ever, have I seen somebody bring a girl around and then another guy tell him to his face, yo, bro, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a harlot.
Her shoes is bad. That's bad. Like,
no. Yeah.
But girls will do that.
Girls can be tough, yo.
They'll tell their friend, like, oh, I don't know, like that car he driving, or like, yo, like, I seen his baby mother. Are you sure he's not?
That's wild.
Are you sure he's still not with her? And yo, wasn't he just with her last? Like, they'll muddy the waters
for sure
and disguise it as concern. You're really hating because misery loves company.
You gotta be mindful, especially if she got like a bunch of little single girlfriends, and then
those are the only ones that ever hate is the single ones. By the way,
for sure. Or
a married woman is not hating. The single. That's why you gotta be careful when you're in a relationship. That's another conversation.
The circle who they keep.
Those single friends will get you every time. They'll get you every time because they want you to be miserable with you.
Or they may try to line you up and get you out the way and take the man.
That's another.
That jealousy gets adding up, and seeing you move around and be happy and you glow. Got to be careful.
100% fact.
Have to be careful.
So, what would be your advice to somebody if they like a person but their friends are talking shit about them?
I mean, I'm fortunate I haven't had to deal with that. Or if so, I don't remember it, that it's been so long. You got to ask the friends, like, why don't you like this person, and not be emotional about it? Because one of the friends are going to tell. And also, too, it depends on which friend it is. Like if one of my friends from, let's say, back home or Ty's like, yo, I just don't like this person. I'm like, tell me why. They're gonna give me a straight answer. Or I'll call Foxy, yo, what you think about da da da. They'll give me a real answer. But for me, the litmus test is my parents. I can skip past those. But my mom and dad, the discernment, if they say it's a no, I'll wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Oh, if your parents say no, it's over.
Yeah, because they'll be able to see certain things. And my dad will tell me, well, she cool for this, but it's been people out there, he like, have fun for 2 more months and then, you know.
Well, that's another topic that happens all the time. Not your parents, but I'm just saying, just parents in general, right? That's a big thing where if your parent doesn't, if you're in love with somebody, you rocking with somebody, and your parent is against it, is that a deal breaker for a relationship? To me, no, because I'm not in a relationship with my parents. I respect my parents. I have reverence for my parents, but I'm not going to let my parent tell me what to do with my love life.
I can respect it. But what if your dad knew her mom and her mom was a harlot in the tunnel back in the day? The fruit don't fall too far from the tree.
Studio 54.
For sure. Back in the day. Oh, you know, Patrice, that's Patrice's daughter? Oh.
Because, you know, that happens a lot with cultural stuff, too.
For sure.
Like, a lot of times, even racist, right? Like, the parents might be racist and be like, yo, no, don't bring her to them. Don't bring him to my home. And for the simple fact that they might be black, or they might be Mexican, or they might be a different religion, or they might be from a country. That happens a lot. Maybe not in our culture, because our culture is not divisive like that when it comes to that type of thing. But a lot of other groups of people, I've heard firsthand experiences where the kid, they told me, like, look, I don't even have the option of marrying somebody because my family would disown me.
Wouldn't go for it. Yeah. So, but you guys put in chat, what do you think? Does your social circle influence the impact on your relationships?
It definitely does. So my next question, before we leave this whole web, do you decide, do you play a critical role in cutting out toxic friends in a partners? Meaning, okay, you with somebody, you recognize you see their friend circle, and you identify, you might even know one person, or you identify at least one person in their circle as being a toxic person, right? And she's bad for the relationship because she's always feeding her negative energy. She's making her second guess things. She's inviting her to situations that she shouldn't even be invited to as a person that's in a relationship. Do you start the process of tearing that person down in that person's brain so that you create a division and a wedge and get
you are nefarious, yo. What the fuck? What? The start the process of tearing down is wild. But I will, and I have done, yo, this friend is not your friend, for one. Or this friend really, she want to trade places with you. To be, I have done that for sure. But as far as the thing that I've learned over the last, maybe for sure the last 2 or 3 years, if it's meant to be and if it's in alignment, you aren't going to have all those issues. A lot of times you can tell a person, hey, this person isn't good for you, but they haven't done the work to elevate past that toxicity. So a lot of times they want that comfort. People say they want peace and then be in warlike environments or toxic environments all the time. So I'll put it out there once or twice, and I've done it in maybe someone I've dated who didn't listen to it, but then they had to see it for themselves later. So have I mentioned it? Yes, but is it like, yo, you just stop being friends with Keisha or we're done? No, you'll find out.
So let me give you some advice, because I've done this before, but I've done it. It's strategic how you gotta do it. You can't.
You sound like Trump in this though. Tell me how you do it. Bring it out.
You can't give an ultimatum like, yo, stop being friends with Lisa, like, because then you look like a hater, right? But it's like,
so you mask the hate amongst the girlfriend groups. You can go to brunch no more. You start to point out things. Yo, did you ever notice that she was just with him and now she with him next week? You ain't noticed that? That's not funny. You don't find that? Is that female dirty Mac? I know, friend dirty Mac
is highlighting. It's highlighting aspects that need to
of
be
the character.
Highlighting, because you don't want, look, it's like cancer. One thing spreads. It's like your son, right? You're going to be able to see at a certain age a friend that you know is going to be detrimental to him.
I do it now. Hey, stop. Hey, take him out the group chat. I did it last week. No. Where you going or where he going? No disrespect. 2 different tiers. Sorry.
That's a fact.
Take him out the group chat. Sorry.
Because you don't want that type of energy and that type of, peer pressure, right? It's just common sense. So yes, you start to highlight little things here and there. You start to do things, and then like, so you do it in a subtle way. You got to do it in a subtle way.
Okay.
Then it's like, yo, wow, interesting. I never thought of
Or you don't think birds of a feather flock together?
Not always. Sometimes people can be, a lot of adults, what I realized too is a lot of adults are meeting friends at later ages in life.
For sure. And girls will pick up friends in
the bathroom.
Hey girl, you so cute. I like your dress. Yeah. Oh my
they go into fucking Aruba in 2 months, right?
For real.
You don't know, I'm obviously like, you
don't know that person.
You don't know that person. She's crazy as hell.
Yeah. That does happen a lot too.
That happens all the time. All the time.
This is my bestie. You just met her. You do not know her baby daddy. That's in jail for life.
Literally.
Stop it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the subtle, humble, dirty Mac. Got you. Right.
I wouldn't necessarily describe it as dirty Macking. You're saving a day.
Are you going to be on a panel with Ish in tonight's conversation?
Never know. About this? To tonight's conversation, that boy Ish will be in the
my boy.
Ish will be in the building.
Shout out to my guy,
every stage is a big stage, by the way.
For sure. What day is that?
I think it's Saturday, but I'll double check.
Look on the app. Everybody go look on the app to see the lineup.
Look on the website. Look on the app. Shout out to Ish.
Yes, my brother.
Okay.
You think AI is going to cause a dystopia for 12 years starting in 2027? Can we play this clip?
Please.
I believe that we are going to hit a short-term dystopia. There's no escaping that.
What is dystopia?
I call it face RIPs. We can talk about it in details, but the way we define very important parameters in life are going to be completely changed. So face RIPs are, the way we define freedom, accountability, human connection and equality, economics, reality, innovation and business, and power. That's the first change. So the first change in my mind is that we will have to prepare for a world that is very unfamiliar. Okay. And that's the next 12 to 15 years. It has already started. We've seen examples of it in the world already, even though people don't talk about it.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I hope for this generation, I think I helped usher in the use of the Benner cycle. 2027 is a very important year for sure. Do I think there would be some dystopia? I do think.
What is dystopia? What is dystopia?
It's.
Can we get it?
Short of hell, the opposite of utopia, which is elation, heaven. Dystopia is the opposite of that. And some people don't want to put the recession word on it. I think there would be an economic tightening and contraction for sure. And I think that's why there's a race for certain companies to go public and certain deals to be done. Like even in the Paramount and UFC deal, they just went public with WWE a couple years ago. So then to sell, there's a lot of liquidity events that are happening at a time where it seems like people know something is coming. And I've said this plenty of times, but despite Trump being in office, every month he has a new launch for something financially related, as if he knows in 27 or 28 there's going to be hell on earth financially. It's interesting. Even if you look at Nvidia is 8% of the S&P 500. Historically, though, usually the top company is 6% of it, but the market is overweight on Nvidia, and a lot of pressure that used to be on Apple now has transferred over to Nvidia. I just think that something is happening, and I feel like there's, and we can talk about this as well. Like 300,000 Black women have been taken out of the workforce in the last 2 years. I talk to a lot of women that are working, and like, I'm being pushed out of corporate post DEI. The treatment is so egregious, like I have to leave. So I think there are some things, and I've never seen this level of uncomfortability and distress in America. Like, once again, I've never seen so many Americans, especially white Americans, say, I'm leaving the country. Every time I go to Mexico, it's what in places I'm not usually seeing. It's way more people traveling and thinking about a secondary passport. So I think some of the fabric of America is breaking down. People want to be treated better, but the corporations, because of so much debt, can't do so. And I think AI is going to be the tool that fractures the economy, because if you lay off 10% or 25% of the workforce, where does everyone go?
Facts.
It's tough.
That's a fact.
And without AI and Apple and Microsoft, to be very honest, we would have been in a recession the last 4 years. Without all that stimulus money that floated post-COVID, like when I go back and look at 2019, top of the market, we had that tremendous drop. If it wasn't for all that cash being injected into the market, we would have been in a 5-year recession. That's crazy to think about. Every city I go to, it's less traffic in places that are really popular. So,
yeah, that's a fact. I mean, I definitely think that it's changing the brain waves and frequency of young people. I mean, but everything has. Social media has changed the brain waves and frequency of young people, of everybody. Let's not just say young people, of everybody, but it mainly affects young people more than anybody.
For sure.
The cell phone itself, COVID, artificial intelligence will, for sure, is and will.
Yeah.
So yes, but I think that that's always been the case where technology has had some level of negative effects, but some level of positive effects as well, right? Like the same could be said when people first started watching television.
Yeah.
Like what did that do to society, right? Or when they first started listening to the radio, or when they first started. So yeah, but it's no stopping it. It's no stopping it. So yeah, so
there's no reverse button.
It's no reverse button at all. No. And Market Monday, shout out to Market Monday. I ain't gonna front, man. I picked up some Eli Lilly stock at the Market Mondays. I wasn't really thinking about Eli Lilly. The Market Mondays conversation. I'm like, you know what? Look into this.
Hello.
So Market Mondays, you always get ideas from watching that show.
Valuable information.
For sure. For sure. Okay. Staying on the business realm, let's show this clip about the Patel family and the motel empire that they've been able to build.
70% of the motels in the country are under Patel ownership. What happened was a small number of Patels came into the United States in the early 70s, the refugees. They realized that if we buy a really small motel, 10, 12, 14 room motel, the family can live in 1 or 2 rooms and the family can do all the work.
It's a job and a house together.
Yeah, so basically cooking, cleaning, front desk, laundry. And because they had no costs, they were able to charge nightly rates that were lower than all the neighboring motels. So what would happen is the Patel-owned motel would be running 100% occupancy. The other motels couldn't match that rate because they'd lose money. And as their nephew came of age, they would help him out to buy his own motel. And then the nephew would get that going, and then the next one, the next one. You run this for 50 years, and they've actually gone up market now. So a lot of the Hiltons, Marriotts, Westons, if you really look, you'll find it's under Patel ownership. And then they went into 7-Eleven.
Okay. You know what? I can speak firsthand experience about this, that this is a 100% fact from a variety of different ways that I know this. When I was in the insurance industry, one of the top insurance agents in the company was an Indian guy, and he only sold to he sold big policies to motel owners, and all the motel owners that he sold policies to were Indian. When a friend of mine got married, he's Indian. He got married to his wife. She's Indian also. And I went to his wedding. And if you've ever been to an Indian wedding, it's like
what a time. What a time.
So his wife's family, they own motels. And he's the one that explained to me everything that you saw in this video, as far as they bring the family over, they get the motel, they save, and then they set the other kid up to have his motel. Everything that they just explained.
It's a generational wealth plan.
He explained it to me. They own a lot of gas stations also. And then, like he said that in the video, they've moved up chain. Now they own major restaurant hotels, not just motels. And whoever thinks about owning a motel, I don't know one person that had an inspiration or was inspired to have a motel empire.
It's a good business to be in if you know how to scale. And which leads to the question, what are the industries that we collectively as a community should exclusively focus on? Or you can wait till next week. Live on stage. You know what? Other drip report. These are the things to invest in. Yep.
Put in chat. I mean, the part of this program too is that it's got to be interactive. So put in chat. What do you guys think? What do you guys think as a collective, as a culture, if we had some level of dominance? Because this is the thing.
And unity.
Here's the thing. China was a third world country 50 years ago. They had the idea to focus on one thing and one thing only: manufacturing,
and be excellent at that.
Yeah, we want to be a manufacturing power.
Yeah,
that's it. That one thing that they focused on has led to them manufacturing 30% of everything made in the world, and has made them on pace to be the biggest economy in the history of the world. Japan, after World War, the only country in the world to ever have atomic bombs dropped on them was Japan. Their whole country was pretty much decimated. They were not allowed to have a military. They focused on one thing.
Yep.
Was
technology.
technology.
Focus. Yep.
Technology. They're one of the most advanced societies in the world, and economy, like it's worked out for them. The list goes on. The group of Indians decided to focus on one thing. They didn't say, okay, I want to diversify, and I want to have a casino, and I want to have a mall and a sneaker store,
laundromat,
and I want to have a chain of fast food restaurants. They focused on one thing. That's essential. That serves a demographic of the population that most people look over or look past.
Down upon. Yep.
Somebody going to a motel, that's not something that most people have as far as their target market. They focused on one thing. And in that short period of time, they've been able to build an empire. So
I always tell you, diversification is bullshit and overrated. We've seen real example. Michael Saylor, prime example. One asset, Bitcoin. Me investing. Media. That people often tell you to diversify, to not tell you what to actually invest in to get wealthy from. All of Sam Altman's wealth is tied up in OpenAI. It's working out pretty well. Diversification is overrated. You use diversification after you get wealthy to protect the wealth. But growing the wealth in the first 20, 25 years, hyper concentration in one area.
That's a fact. So for me, that's a lesson. Another lesson is that they have a strategic plan to work together as a unit. Let's just say that, right? It wouldn't have worked if everybody wasn't on the same accord.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest lesson that can be learned in this whole situation.
Unity is a part of the scaling plan too. Even in Silicon Valley, Japan was an electronics empire. Silicon Valley was inspired by some of that. There's been hyper concentration into venture capital in Silicon Valley ever since Japan's dominant run, for sure. And this is a prime example of quiet generational wealth planning. It doesn't have to be loud. It's whatever the plan is. We're going to follow this for 20 or 30 or 40 years. That's why, like, a lot of times when people say, well, time in the market is more important, that is true in the businesses you select to be in your exit points as well. 10 years and 30 years is a great time to exit, is usually going to give you your greatest return. Anywhere from 5,000 to 600,000% return, depending on what industry you are in. So, but I agree that unity part is a part of the scale, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you master an industry that others don't want to be in, that also can be your edge. Because the goal of every business is to have a monopoly, to be one of one. By just focusing on that one thing, they've done a great job, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You want to talk about this Cameron thing or no?
And Omar?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, we can. I'll be a team player.
All right, we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah. I've had enough divisive energy. Maybe 2 weeks from now we'll talk about after it dies down a little bit. But Cameron strategic in the move. The whole booking.
Wow, boy, right there, man.
That's the E40 move.
That's a fact. E40 is out there.
You have any thoughts about Dr. Umar revealing his academy is going to be auctioned off by the state of Delaware, and what could have been done to prevent some of this? I don't want to pile on Umar, but I do want to talk about checklists and maybe systems to prevent some of these things from happening. We can skip it if you want to.
It wasn't going to work to begin with.
Wait. Shout out to Dr. Umar. What you mean? It wasn't the school? It's a great idea. We can't say education doesn't work while having an educational platform.
No. What I'm saying is that in order to have a school, right, you have to get accredited by the state.
Okay.
Do you think that the state, any state in America, would have ever given accreditation to Dr. Umar Johnson School?
It would have been an uphill battle for sure. Yeah.
In the age of Trump.
That's a great point.
Sometimes it's better to not speak. I like Umar. I think he's a very intelligent guy, but I think he's more of a comedian than an activist.
Come on, we can't do that. He's not a comedian. He's funny.
Oh, he's a funny guy.
But that doesn't make him a comedian. He's been trying to do this for 12 years, and the school was up. I talked to Mark Lamont Hill. He was like, I've been in the school. I saw the layout. I was like, oh, okay, great. I didn't know. My bad. My apologies. So it seemed like he had footing despite of all the, stops and starts he may have had. So he was making some progress. But I want to focus on what are the lessons to learn from it for everyone who's watching tonight that's an entrepreneur. And did the media attention take away from the core, going back to hyper concentration on just getting the school up and running? Yeah,
should have stayed in food and beverage. If your goal is to do one thing, you sometimes in life you gotta sacrifice things. That means that you're going on Drewski's dating show and doing a variety of different. That's why I say he's more of a comedian. I'm not saying that in a derogatory way.
It's going to come off derogatory, especially after Mercury retrograde. People are sensitive, Rashad.
Okay, what lessons can be learned and from your opinion?
You have to keep the main thing. I think even though I've had opportunities to maybe talk about other things, even for me, when the options craze got hot, it would have been an easy transition for me to go to options. But I always 2-Tech-2 index and futures. That's been my formula. I'm going to double down on the thing that's working. I think of course, some parts of the fame are used for business. Of course, I think interpersonally, he may like the fame for the personal benefits. We've all been bitten by the fame drug at some point. But I think not having systems to get that business up and running could have caused this. Like, even when I heard the notice was left on the door, I'm like, there's not enough team building being around. And also, too, if you're going to build something of that scale, you have to know you need human capital. You have to know your limitations. I'm not a person that wants to run 1,000-person company. I want to have 1,000 servers. You have to know your limitations and your weaknesses. So I think him not building a team, because anytime I heard him talk about the school, there's never mention of principal, advisor, lawyers involved. It's usually just him. And I think that's a mistake in knowing what sector in business you're in, what assets you need to make that thing grow.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. He should have had a more
robust.
That goes back to being humble, right? Like, you got to work with people that actually knows how to do a school,
how to build what you want to do. Yep.
Basically, if you're trying to build a skyscraper and your only experience in real estate is buying a home, it's not going to work.
It's going to be tough, brother. Yep. Oh, so we're blessed to Umar. I hope he's able to work his way. I do think, once again, though, he should start an online academy first and let that be the bridge to some of these issues. So,
yeah.
Do you think it's the best move to homeschool your kids, given this educational topic? Shout out to Grant Cardone and Jared. Can we play this clip?
The best thing I ever did was get my kids out of school, remove them from the environment. You're like, how are you going to socialize your kids? Don't. You want them to be independent, free thinkers, disciplined. Why would I want to socialize my kid into these idiots? I tell my kids, look, you don't worry about hanging out with the kids. Worry about hanging out with their parents. The kids are going to become parents one day. If you can learn how to hang out with the older people, that's who's got all the access, the power, the wisdom, and the influence. How many of the kids you grew up with you're hanging around today? 0. That's a round number. They're freaking either criticizing you, or those same guys are cowards, because when they see you, they're like, oh, Jack, I always knew you were going to make it. If they could grow up with the Obamas and the Trumps and the Bushes, that's influence.
Grant Cardone, he's a culture vulture, but
bro, Rashad, Invest Fest is next week, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What? Okay.
Why you say you're a vulture?
Well, remember he did that thing before. You can Google it, but he's had some questionable moments for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some highly questionable moments. Okay. Is it best to
aside, what do you think of the idea of homeschooling?
The idea of homeschooling. I really can't speak firsthand experience because I have never been homeschooled, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like to talk about something I don't have firsthand experience on.
Yeah.
To me, I could see pros and cons of homeschooling. The pro to me would be obviously a one-on-one ratio, right? As far as like, there's no outside distractions.
Mm-hmm.
You're staying on top. They're getting direct. It's like a personal conversation relationship. It's a better way to learn as opposed to being in a class with 30 people and having, arguments happen, and you got to worry about, the new girl that came in and this dude that you got to fight after school is over. It's public school for sure. Going to school is a social experiment. You got to worry about the clothes that you wear, right? Mm-hmm. You got to navigate through having to deal with fights. You got to navigate through dealing with teachers that you don't like or don't like you. You got to be able to joke. You got to be able to stay on your toes. You got
microcosm society.
And on a certain level, that can be helpful. On a certain level, it could be hurtful. Mm-hmm. But that's like, when you think of public school, like that's what I'm thinking of. Like, I didn't really realize it when I was in it, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, this is a whole scientific experiment.
Like
if you just put a kid from like beginning all the way up, like look how much stuff that they got to deal with. They're gonna learn about sex firsthand. They're not gonna learn about sex from their school teacher. They're gonna learn about sex firsthand. Like they're gonna
peers.
They're gonna see their peers. They're gonna talk about it. They're gonna learn about drugs firsthand. People gonna be smoking weed in the bathroom. Like they're gonna learn about gambling, dice games, all types of stuff happens.
And I'm probably even in private school for the parents like, oh, take my kid to private. It's in there too. Trust me, I lived it first.
For sure. So it's like, damn, like, but then it's like that happens, and that's what happens in life, in the real world, right? So it's like, is that, in a certain level, is that kind of good that you have that exposure? I don't know, but if you are homeschooled, I always worried about the social interactions of it. Now I know that you can go to homeschool and still play sports, go to sports program, still have a social group of friends that you have. So you're not just like isolated 24 hours a day. I think that's important. If you're going to homeschool somebody, you got to have them in a sports team. You got to have them in a band.
Some kind of social club. Yeah.
You got to have them in a community center where they're still interacting with children and they have friends and they have peers.
Yeah.
But I do feel like you can get more education done in a homeschool isolated environment
for sure,
and you can in a school building.
I agree 1,000%. I mean, there's a conversation of being rich and wealthy. Is it worth to expose your kids to certain things? But I think you can't avoid all of society. You can build a bunker and all that, but I think certain parts of life you just cannot run from. But to the educational quality, of course, there's a definite benefit there. And kudos to all the parents who homeschool their kids, because that is not an easy job. But the social part, I do worry about a little bit. So,
yeah. Put in chat. What do you guys think? Okay.
But if we're gonna talk about vultures, one day we got to talk about the vultures that are the same skin color too. Not this week or next, but maybe like October. The black vulture list.
The black vulture list.
Oh.
Okay, let's play this clip about black women getting laid off.
Did you know that more than 300,000 black women have left the workforce in the last 3 months?
Why aren't more people talking about how 300,000 black women were laid off from their corporate jobs recently?
Would I be wrong to say that this country is committed to doing everything in its power to prevent black women from generating wealth?
I'm Kayla from Blavity, and I got you with a breakdown on how we got here. According to MSNBC, Trump's cutbacks on DEI and downsizing of the federal government have a lot to do with this. Job cuts in the government disproportionately impacted jobs in education, health, and community-facing roles. And these are the very sectors where black women are most concentrated. And because of the Trump administration's drawback on DEI, programs meant to support black women in the workforce have vastly been disappearing. And we've seen this play out in court when organizations like the Fearless Fund, which are dedicated to supporting black women entrepreneurs, have had to shut down because it discriminated against white business owners. Comment below and let us know what you think needs to be done to address this mass exodus of black women from the workforce.
Okay. Surprising? No. Unfortunate? Yes. Okay. Where do we start? What's your thoughts on this?
I think this is the tail end of DEI being removed and given the administration that we have. I do feel like at a certain point when black women, Latin women were making advancements into corporate, there's a power shift once he got in office to want to eradicate and take that away. So once you had that being spun off and companies and brands are feeling pressure, I think this is just like a reverberating effect of that. And that's why I think investing in the market is so important. And then for the 5% of people who know how to trade, that is really important because it's one of the few avenues that has not been blocked from us from having like financial freedom. Incredibly unfortunate, but I think it's just sign of the times, and it's going to be the start of the mass layoffs that are going to happen because of AI.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at this at all. Like, especially like even Target's in shambles. Y'all can say what y'all want to about that boycott. That boycott worked on them.
Facts.
So, but I don't know if, and companies know this, Target is going to have an effect, of course, and they were having issues prior to, but we can't boycott every company on earth. Just the same way you said, like in terms of what's happening city to city, he needs to be policed. No one's going to police these layoffs. No one's going to say anything. So it's incredibly unfortunate. But am I surprised? Not at all. As quickly as Black women were rising in corporate and rising in terms of entrepreneurship, you don't think some blowback was going to come? That's why I say a lot of times you got to be quiet about some of these moves we're making. Same in the crypto space. Crypto got hot on fire and they came in, and now stable coins are going to be integrated into MasterCard, and like they're taking apart the plan in front of our eyes in real time.
But also what happens with Black women is that it doesn't even get noticed. Like, for instance, there's the stat about how many Black women go missing every single year.
It's very quiet.
It's never talked about. And then there's another stat about how many Black mothers have all kinds of complications and lose children at like tremendously higher rate than white women during pregnancy, and it's just never talked about. It's just a variety of different things. So even like this, like, okay, Black, like it just goes unreported. Like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and developed nation, the amount of Black women that die delivering, like that shouldn't happen. Or just even treatment in the medical space.
Well, what's the problem? Is it not a voice strong enough to like? What is the problem?
So
the only
is assigned.
At a certain point in time, you might have to just go the Africa play. It's a real question. It's a real conversation to be had.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, for those of you who do make that journey, don't go to another place and try and colonize a place.
But you can't colonize. It's impossible. That's impossible.
To colonize Africa?
Impossible. For a Black person.
Doing it now.
Huh? China, no, I'm saying for Black people. That's
okay. Got you.
A Black people, it's literally impossible. Impossible.
Yeah, just don't bring some of the cultural norms from here to there.
That would be that. Now
that'll be ass backwards.
But that's not going to happen.
Not by us.
You got to have a certain wherewithal to even go. The ignorant motherfuckers is not even going to have enough wherewithal to even go. When I say wherewithal, it's not just talking about money. I'm talking about as far as wherewithal, like mentally and going and get a visa. No, ain't doing that. So you're gonna leave the riffraff behind anyway.
Hope so. If not, there's a certain place you don't need to go over there and plan. But yeah, we are seeing a restructuring of cultural norms and just culture in general in America. And there's more unease than I've ever seen. Quiet unease. They won't say recession. The signs are all there. As much as I love the market and advocate for it, and I called NVIDIA, man, it's scary as hell that like 11 stocks are driving all the value in damn near all sectors. Like the entire market is dependent upon AI. Apple's next 5 years will be determined if they invest into AI. That's scary as hell. That's a sign of a overall weak economy.
And don't look now. Well, we had the crypto episode last week. Bitcoin's up 100 to 121,000 right now currently. Quietly. Ethereum's almost at $5,000, $4,700.
What are mid-sized banks going to do now that Visa and MasterCard are involved in the stablecoin process? We're going to have nobody said anything since Silicon Valley Bank collapsed. Mid-sized banks are fucked. No one's saying anything. Bond market. The data center growth is having an adverse. It's a pair trade. If you're long data centers, you can't be long office buildings. Got to pick one. The data center development is a trade against them putting office workers back in to the office. So 1-to-1 correlation. Got to be careful. You got to see where all the money is being deployed to as well. So, but we'll mean to mess up your Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So much crazy stuff happening in the world these days. Anything positive to report on?
Man, God is good all the time. InvestFest next week. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. Oh, I had an amazing stock club call last night. If you want to know how to get rich from the market, go to eaninvest.com, join the Red Panda Stock Club. I'll tell you where to get in, where to get out, when Eli Lilly is going to recover. If you were in stock club already, you knew from the price of $900 some that they were going to have this pullback. If you want to never guess where to get into the market, go to eaninvest.com. Join the stock club, Red Panda. I will see you next week at InvestFest. But yeah, there's a lot to be happy about and be thankful for. Just being alive is a blessing. Once again, rest in peace to my guy Brandon Wash. Like, shit, I don't even think Brandon may have been 40. Like, there's a lot going on, so we have to appreciate, despite all the doom and gloom in the world. And I hope what comes of all of this AI and technocracy that we're going through, I hope we get back to being a community again. Spending more time with the people.
What are you most thankful for?
Family, friends, son. Life is good, man. I can't complain. Our partnership, our friendship, like, it's a blessing to be able to even go through some of the stuff that we go through and just be, even when Joe call, yo, drip, seeing you here. It's a blessing just to say, hey, yo, calling you, hey, I'm Africa, looking regal. Fire. Cool. What you do? Oh, in Mexico, going to House Mexico real quick. Go to Bahamas real quick. Celebrate, baby. I'm thankful for everything. Because truth be told, being an African-American man in this country, this was not on my trajectory board. If you knew me in 5th grade, like, I always knew I was going to be something. But for most people, seeing me in this spot, it's a lot to be thankful for. And it's a lot of lives that we're impacting. I'm most thankful for that, the amount of lives being able to change by giving this information. What about you? You glowing? Using Benin and Cote d'Ivoire. I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I said, what? Cote d'Ivoire? What?
That's the fact, man. Nah, for sure. Being able to travel the world is a blessing. Being able to get up every day, healthy.
Yeah, and just having freedom to move around. When we talk about all jokes aside, but just having freedom to, like, this is the schedule I'm going to pick for them. It's a blessing to be around people that you enjoy working with and having the luxury of saying, well, this is causing distress in my life. Let me just remove it. Most people don't even have that option. So,
Fact. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
So,
okay.
Is Tyler done?
Huh?
Is Tyler done?
No. Why would she be done? She's 21 years old, I think, or 20 years old, something like that.
Bro, that EP didn't. And I like Tyler's music. Water, fire. The follow-up to it, fire. This EP flop, though.
When you say flop, what do you mean?
4,000 units. Tyler's a global superstar. How many books you got to say be on bestseller list?
Well, why did the EP come out so later? Her song came out last year.
Almost 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. So, but that's another thing too. When did we get into this number culture? Like, when did that shit?
You know, I got 50 did it.
Yo, because even on YouTube, right? It'll be like somebody won't even watch a video. They'll watch how many views a video has, and then make a comment like, "Oh, this video only got 10,000 views." Which is crazy. That's crazy. They like, yo, 10,000 views, 10,000 views. Y'all, this is a dud. When have you ever spoken to 10,000 people before?
Yeah, I think people forget like metrics in real life.
Like we gotta
like
put
80 people in person is intimidating.
We gotta put this in perspective.
Yep.
The people that'll be on YouTube like, yo, this video has 5,000 views. This is embarrassing. You yourself have not spoken to more than 5 people at one time, ever, including your family. No, I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. I'm not even. I'm just for perspective, because we live in a negative society. So I think it's important for people to fully understand, like, we're not even listening to music. We're seeing how much
other people like it,
artists sold, and making commentary off of that. We're not making commentary if the album is good or not.
Yeah.
Nobody, I haven't heard one comment on the music is good, the music isn't good, the music, like the comments is how much she sold, she fell off, the numbers are down. What are we talking about?
Mismanagement of her team, but also too the commentary that she had, and this is some FBA blowback. You can't say that. I think it's a important lesson on not taking the audience for granted and being respectful, especially giving your background and origin.
What do you mean? When she said about the she's not black?
Yeah.
She's not black though.
In the colored comments, like you've been in America long enough, your PR team should, like in the same with the Umar conversation, you have to have good counsel and good advisors around you in order for you to thrive. Regardless of what people may say online, in person, if you've ever seen me, they got to drag me off stage from interacting. That's out of respect for audience. You can't get rich off of an audience and blow up and have a community and culture support you, and then be tone deaf and rude as hell behind the scenes and expect.
Also, the community and culture got to grow up. Also, though, they got to understand our community and culture has to grow up and understand that the world is bigger than America. She's not a black woman. So why do you want her to be something that she's not? If I'm not mistaken, I think she's Indian.
She's Indian.
She's half Indian, half something else, right? So when she says I don't identify as a black woman, it's because she's not a black woman. That's why she doesn't identify as a black woman.
But they marketed her as such.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
That's why I think we were the first to wake it up about even the Indian thing.
Yeah, but they never marketed her as a black woman.
Not African American. They marketed her as a young rising. Come on.
As a young rising what? As a young rising what? As a young rising what?
She was black adjacent. In Afrobeat. That's why even some of that riff that she have in Afrobeat space, like you almost I'm not gonna say colonizer because I like her music and the album's pretty good, but there's some issues she has even in that space.
No, but her music is not Afrobeats. It's Amo piano. It's a difference. It's the whole different genre of music.
I agree.
No, I'm just saying there
is a riff though in the Afrobeat space and how they feel about her though. Because the labels marketed her as the darling of, because most people don't even know the difference between those two genres.
Exactly. That's why we got to grow and educate ourselves. That's why our culture has to be educated. Our culture, America is only focused on America. When you travel outside the world, you realize that everybody else in the world has a worldview. America has a domestic view
for sure.
We only know about things that's happening in America. Like South Africa has a different system than we have in America. They have whites, they have coloreds, and they have blacks. Whether that's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. That's their system. We're trying to impose our way of thinking on people that's 5,000 miles away from us.
But if you're coming here to move here to sell your shit here, you got to be mindful of the culture that you're going into.
That's true.
When I go to Mexico, I don't tell them, hey, this is how you should be doing shit in Chihuahua. I adapt to their culture and more. I should clean the fuck up. Cool. You have to adjust. Now, I don't go to Juarez and tell them what to do. Okay, what's common practice? Okay, cool. Lo siento.
Troy said her album went gold It's the EP. I guess she put an EP out after the album. All right. Well, here's the thing. She probably shouldn't even have put the EP out. She probably just put a mixtape out and just say, "Hey, fuck it, we ain't counting numbers, right?"
She's too big for a mixtape.
Not if she's selling 4,000 copies on the EP.
She could have just dropped single and called it, you know. Yeah. But like you said, I think we have to appreciate. But 50 is the one who brought in this number culture. So
I mean, the number culture has always been there because I remember even, you know, whether it was Tupac, right? My shit going quadruple platinum,
but that was after he. I don't know the first week numbers for All Eyes on Me. I
the
bought
first
2
week,
copies.
yeah, that's the first week. We gotta figure out when this because Snoop Dogg, I think his first week numbers was crazy.
690 or so. Yeah,
that's what Big said, trying to sell records like Snoop.
Oops.
Big, but yeah, like it just became a thing of like we don't even care about music. We don't care about the artist. We don't care. We only thing that we care about is how many records did they sell.
The music industry doesn't care about the artist or the art. That's the other kind. When y'all sold that shit off to Spotify and Steve Jobs was the first one to come in and destroy the music business, they blame that. It was Steve who benefited from the Napster wave, though. Then Spotify. Because if I have investment into Spotify and streaming service, who gives a fuck what the numbers are? Because now they created an index fund for artists through Spotify. Who cares what about the art?
Well, in regards to Tyler, I hope not. I hope that she wouldn't be done. Like I said, I'm rooting for her.
Yeah.
For the simple fact of she seems like a nice young lady. She's 20 years old, 21 years old. I don't want to see anybody not be able to be successful or feed their family or feed themselves. So I wish the best for her. But it's really unfortunate that the level of toxicity that we're in right now as a world. But let's get one more topic if we can.
Okay.
What's the last topic of the day?
You tell me.
The last topic of the day shall be
Halle Berry. No, I'm joking. Want to do Cam?
No. Let's stay away from the Cam thing. All right. Look, you know what?
Gotta end on a high note sometime.
That's a fact. Get your tickets to Invest Fest next week.
There you go.
Next week. Atlanta, Georgia. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 85 South Comedy Show on Thursday. Man, looking forward to it. Market Mondays Live will be in the building. Jack Dorsey, Magic Johnson, Issa Rae, Charlamagne the God, Steven Jackson, Joy Taylor.
Yes. Terrence
J. Artificial intelligence will be covered. Real estate will be covered. Stocks will be covered.
BlackRock,
Fidelity. Oh, man. The list goes on.
You nervous? Excited? How you feeling?
Man, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Shout out to Dykeman. Our team had #1 seed in Dykeman. We just finished the regular season. I think we go into the playoffs next week or the end of this week, but we should have a bye. So, I think we got a few more games to go before we can hold that banner. So we taking it one day at a time. But shout out to everybody on the team. Shout out to Meech, Moneyline Meech, MVP, in my eyes at least. And the whole team. Stay cool. All the guys, man. Mama do. It's a whole thing in New York City. Street basketball. It's a culture.
For sure.
So we got a great group of guys. Shout out to Fred and his whole Pound crew. You gotta come to a game one of these summers.
For sure. How many more weeks we got?
Like 2.
2? Next year. Next year for sure. Well, what's the biggest lesson you learned this year? Either personal or business.
Oh man, the biggest lesson is
so many of them, right?
Don't help anybody in life. No, I'm just kidding. Jokes. The biggest lesson is just, stay focused. That's it. Stay focused on the goal.
Limitation of help is important though.
That's a fact. And
We say a lot about gatekeeping and colonizing.
Filtration of help. But yeah, stay focused on the goal. That's important.
Yeah.
What about you?
Hyper concentration on what you're great at and be silent in everything else.
That's a fact. All right, guys, it's been real. We will see you on Monday for Market Mondays. Tap in.
No, you cannot get on my VIP list. I'm a weaponized AB in security. My phone is off. Sorry.
Yes.
Hey, B, I'll send you my list today. Anybody outside? You're not my cousin. Nope. Nope. Sorry.
Shout out to Queen's Flip. He will be in the building.
Shout out to Flip. Love you, my boy. That's my dog.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Been real. Peace.